what's up, everybody? Evan J. Thomas here with the Better Listen Up with Evan J. Thomas show. We got a special guest on the show today. My man, Aaron, pronounce your last name for me.
Quintero.
Quintero from Desert Gray
There you
Music
go.
Festival and the lead singer of An Awful Mess. Dude, you got a lot going on. What is happening with you today? How are you?
Good. Busy. Tired.
Busy
Just
and tired. You're,
running
you're
around.
working a new job, but I want to get into this festival because you've been promoting the shit out of it. You've been working your ass off. Explain to us what this Desert Gray Music Festival is and what's going on with it.
So this particular year has been in the works for over a year. It's been I'd probably say about 14, 15 months that we've been working on it. The festival itself, I started back in 2018. I was actually just intending to put on a show for my friends in a band called Those Kind of People. And then we're like, what if we had this band? What if we had this band? Oh, now there's like 10. What if we turn it into a music festival? So I ended up partnering with my friend Avi, who was in a band called Greyjoy at the time. Now he's in Tarot Blood. There are headliners this year, so it's his return to the fest. Um, he helped me find some additional bands to round out the lineup, and he and I sat at a coffee shop for, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour or so, just spitballing names. And he actually came up with the name Desert Gray, and the reason being is I wanted it to be something related to where we're from out here in the desert.
Makes sense.
And I had ideas for like purple flowers or some sort of desert wildlife. He ended up saying desert gray, and that stuck with me because I have a husky whose coat is called wolf gray. So that just like really stuck in my brain. So I was like, okay, let's run with this. So we curated the lineup together and came up with a name together. And then we've had it 3 other times since. I
Okay.
put it on in 2019. We were gonna go really big in 2020.
But
Uh,
we know
the
we all
the
know what happened then.
the venue that we were working with was actually going to help us with all the permits and stuff and hook us up with companies that do like fencing and staging and lighting and sound. And we were going to expand because we were doing it at a venue called Club Red, which was in Mesa, Arizona. And they were going to help us with all that so that we could expand out into the parking lot because they had this sick 2 stage setup because it used to be a 2 screen movie theater.
Okay.
So they had 2 rooms that were just barely like different in size. There was the big room, but the small room was still fairly large. So it was amazing for our purposes. And yeah, they were going to help us out with all of that for adding like 2 more stages out in the parking lot. But then COVID shut down everything and it ended up claiming that venue as well.
Oh,
So
yeah, that sucks.
back in
Claimed a lot
2020,
of venues, claimed a lot of
it
venues
did.
in that time, and I'm going just looking at the flyer that you have here. It's an older one that I'm looking at, but the event is this Saturday,
Yes.
25th, October 25th at the Nile Theater. That's at 105 West Main Street in Mesa, Arizona. And yeah, so obviously you were saying the Desert Gray Music Festival. You're from Arizona. So kind of talk about like the bands that you have on this lineup and how you found them and how you kind of like are bringing this into, ma- I wouldn't call it mainstream yet, but man, this thing is all over social media that I'm seeing, at least from people I know. So that works.
Yeah. So this year's lineup is it's a result of the curation from the last 7 years basically. So we went back and we have group chats from each year. So I just like reached out when we were starting the book, and the last time that we had the festival was back in 2023. We found a new home at the Nile Theater in Mesa, which is where it's going to be this year as well. So started reaching out to bands, In 2023, I did a submission form, so we had it a bit more open. But this year we had so many rebookings from the last few years since 2018 to 2023. So we only had a handful of new artists, and some of the bands on the lineup, members of those bands were in bands that were on previous fests. So there
Gotcha.
was already that door opened. So it was for curating this year's lineup. It was reaching out in those chats, rebooking those bands, and then filling the gaps. Um, our headliner, as I mentioned before, it's Tarot Blood, who that is Avi, who helped me with the original 2018 Desert Gray. That's his current band.
Okay.
Then our friends Arsenic Kitchen, who we had uh, that fun with,
Yeah.
and
So, and also they're releasing an EP this weekend too. So
yes,
you were mentioning that, and then that I know of that you mentioned, your band is releasing music
yes,
this weekend as
my
well.
band, An Awful Mess, is dropping our 12-track record on Friday, the 24th of this week, same day that Arsenic Kitchen is dropping their EP. Our record is called Better Off Without You. Their EP is the Handbook for the Recently Deceased, which I had no part of, but the songs are amazing. And I got to play a few of them on tour, and we're going to play them all on Saturday. So that's super exciting. Mess is going to be playing about half of our new record. I think maybe a little bit more. I think it's like 6 or 7 tracks. So it's mostly um, songs that we have been releasing. We every 4 to 6 weeks for the last couple months we've been putting out new tracks. It might have been every couple weeks. I don't remember exactly what the time frame was. That was our drummer who came up with the release timeline.
Gotcha.
And so we had released 4 singles for this record leading up to it. And a couple years ago, when we first announced that we were going to be making a record, we dropped another single called Autumn Leaves. So there were in total 5 songs from this 7-track record that have so far been released. So there's still another 7 out of these 12 that people have not heard yet.
And when
So
you're curating the lineup for Desert Gray or any festival, are you genre specific, or how do you kind of make sure everything kind of fits in? I'm with
not
you on that.
all.
I don't like the genre specific shit.
I don't book genres. I have never booked genres, and I
Good.
never will. When I work with a band who wants to put on a specific show and wants specific bands, I will facilitate that. But when I book my shows, I book the members of the bands. I book the people. I book the vibes.
There you go.
So we have on this festival, we have like Terra Blood. They're like a mix of rock, synthwave, a little bit of heavy elements in it here and there. Um, a lot of that 80s synthwave kind of sound
Okay.
throughout. We've got Arsenic Kitchen, and they're a theatrical hard rock band with some post hardcore thrown in. We've got my band, An Awful Mess, and we're a rock band with a bit of pop punk, a little bit of post hardcore, a little bit of everything kind of thrown in. And then we have also our friend Danny with
Yeah.
his like dark gothic kind of pop stuff. We've got another solo artist, Sky City, and they're another kind of synthwave with pop elements. Um, we've got hip hop, we've got spoken word, we've got hardcore, we got metalcore, we got a little bit of everything. Acoustic, um, some more like punk rock bands. So a bit of everything because I'm booking the people. I do look at a band's social media presence. I listen to their recordings, making sure that it's not just like
Crap.
bedroom garage band kind of
Yeah.
quality. I do book some indie, um, which can be a little bit lower, like recording quality wise, but
Understood.
um, it's it's kind of reading the room, getting a feel for the artist, the genre, but mostly I book people based off of their vibes, and that's by going to their shows, by seeing how they're interacting with people on social media, how they present themselves to me as a promoter, and a lot of these bands I will add them as friends on Facebook, so I can also see how they're interacting with people in their daily life on social media. So that's
I
how I
like
kind of get a
to do
gauge
that.
for that.
I really like how you do that because I'm basically the exact same way. I see what people post. I pay attention to this shit. You want good people to be working
It's
with at your
very
shows.
important. Every interaction that they have, personally, professionally, that's part of their brand.
Huge,
And
huge. People don't
when
get that. People think,
they
they
don't,
can say what they want, they can post what they want. Sure you can, but you know what? There are consequences
you
with that
got freedom
too.
of speech, not freedom from consequence.
Bingo, and you and I have discussed that over actually that tour we were on
Yes.
back in August. Yeah, so it's crazy how people don't still realize that. So bands, make sure whenever you have band members that are posting negative stuff, watch that because people will see it. People won't want to work with you. People won't want to book you. That's just what happens in life. So yeah, that's awesome that you're able to do that too, because I see that with what I do, and it's a crazy flow. And it's just like, man, what are you doing, dude? So yeah, it's crazy seeing these people doing that. So speaking of the show, this show starts actually what do I see here? 2 p.m. doors open.
Yes.
First band goes on. You said there's two stages, so it's gonna be basically back and forth.
This time it's three.
Three
We
stages.
actually,
Okay,
yes.
I didn't hear that when you first said.
So,
So you got
yep.
3
So
stages. Oof.
originally, back in 2018, we did two stages. 2019, we put some acoustic on the patio and
Ah,
we just did like a little PA. But at the Nile Theater, there's the big Nile room upstairs. There's the smaller, more punk rock venue, the underground in the basement. And then in the front, there's the coffee shop, the
ooh,
Nile coffee shop, and they have a stage in there. So we have a couple bands in there, but it's mostly acoustic and solo artists and spoken word stuff.
that's awesome. So, yeah, you kinda have the lighter stuff elsewhere in the smaller, but yeah, I totally get that. Is there a stage being used at, like, between every set? So one gets done, there's gonna be another one, then one gets done, another one, or is there gonna be overlap?
Every moment there's going to be music.
That's
There
so
is going to be overlap. Throughout the day, there's going to be an overlap of like 5 to maybe 15 minutes or so
okay.
for sets. When we get to the last, I believe it's four bands of the night, then one will play, they'll stop, and then the other stage, they'll go. The coffee shop, that's ending around 8:30, I believe.
Okay.
But the other two stages, the Nile and the Underground, they're going to be going back to back for the last few acts.
And what I see here, all ages, so bring your kids. 15 bucks for all day long, which is unbelievable in terms of pricing, but 20 bucks a day of the show. So make sure you
Yes.
get your tickets now, save that extra 5 bucks, get that extra beer, whatever, soda, water. I mean, I don't know how much water costs at the venue, usually free, but I'm not going to throw that out there. DesertGrayMusicFestival.com is the website, so you can check that out there and
Yep.
just see the lineup and see what's all going on. Now,
And it's
for
a
you,
playlist with all the artists as well.
there you go. So you get to
That's what
listen to
got me
the
excited.
band before you even see them. So if you haven't seen them, so for you and your band, so you have an awful mess. You have your album coming out. What's the album name again?
It's called Better Off Without You.
Better Off Without You. You have the 12 songs, if I
Mhm.
recall you saying. And then outside of Desert Gray Music Festival, what else do you have going on after that? Or do you just kind of do one thing at a time and kind of promote like that?
So I've got another show. I do a lot of stuff for the local scene around here. So I've got one for a band called Dread. They're also on the lineup.
Yeah, I see that.
They're more heavy. They're a heavy band. I actually got introduced to them by a friend who is an amazing videographer, Jacob Reynolds. He's done stuff for starting out in the local scene, and now he's done stuff for all these amazing national touring artists. He shot a video for them, and they needed a fill-in drummer for the music video. So they hired me to learn the song in a week, go out and play the drums for it for the music video, and it was really cool. It was for a song called Backdraft. So if you want to see me play the drums with some ropes tied to my arms,
Wow.
then you can look up Backdraft by Dread.
And not only are you the lead singer of An Awful Mess, you play bass with Arsenic Kitchen. You do the drums, so you basically play everything.
Yes, this is my
And
recording studio that I'm sitting in right now. And I've got my MIDI keyboard in front of me. I've got the vocal booth on the other side of this wall, which is full of guitar amps. We've got guitar amps guitars on the wall, in the back wall of the live room, which is just outside the door next to me right here.
okay.
Um, we've got guitars, bass. We got 2 drum kits here, and yeah, I play a little bit of everything because I first started out learning violin and piano, and then I moved on to drums. And my older sibling got a classical guitar, nylon string guitar, as I think it was a Christmas present, and I ended up borrowing it, as well as the Green Day International Super Hits guitar tab book,
Okay.
and I taught myself guitar. And then from there, I taught myself bass, and I've tried to keep up on each instrument over the years, and just kind of filling in where I need to. For the bands that I record, I'll do some vocals, I'll do guitars or bass or drums or whatever the project calls for. There's actually some vocalists that I'm working with, and I'm writing the music for them.
Awesome. And do you prefer one over another? Like, do you prefer singing? I know you love performing. You as a bass player, one of the most like energetic bass players on stage. And I've told you several times, I absolutely love that in you. But what do you like the best out of all that?
That's really tough.
You can just say all of them. I don't give a crap. What?
So my personal preference is however I can play frontman, which is usually when I'm just doing vocals. When I did this tour with Arsenic, I had this like push and pull in my brain of I want to make this really entertaining to watch, but I don't necessarily want to steal the spotlight from them. So
I
I was
hear.
just trying to kind of find that balance, but I found that the more that I performed, the more they performed, and we were just kind of bouncing that energy off of each other. So bass, I was almost kind of teetering on the line of frontman ish territory.
You were getting
Doing
close, but man, you have to fight with Aaron and I'm sorry,
Blake
Blake and his
and
hair.
Lucas.
So and
Yes,
Lucas. So it's like you have to,
I
get
got
over.
caught in his hair a little bit.
And I remember actually one of the where you guys were back to back and I think you got caught in it. But yeah, I mean, just playing with those guys alone, I mean, they play to the crowd. And I love that with you guys too. And especially like you're very vocal. And you being a front man, you're kind of used to that. But as a bass player, you don't see too many bass players try to get amped up with the crowd. A lot of them just stand there. But like you said, you're a
Just kind of
performer.
filling the sonic space and not filling out the stage space.
Exactly. So be one of those, and I love it. Like I said, I love it in you that you do that, and it's been fantastic. So, do you have any other plans in terms of obviously you got the music coming out this weekend, you got the festival coming out. Hopefully, maybe you'll take a little bit of a break. Probably not. You're probably like me.
Holidays.
I'm working always, so it's like maybe you'll take 2 days off where you kind of just rest a little bit. What do you got coming up? Let's say 2026. What are you looking at for there?
Yeah. So my guitarist Kenneth and I were talking today about how we kind of want to take a little bit of a break after Desert Gray. Our next show is actually going to be that show that I'm promoting for Dread in January. That so far is the only thing that we have solidly planned. We would like to do a little bit more as we can. Um, Obviously, we want to be able to take the show on the road, but at least for the holidays, we're going to chill out for a little bit. We might do a live stream. We will occasionally do the Thankmas stream, which is the YouTuber Jacksepticeye, his fundraising live stream that he does. He does this annual charity between Christmas and Thanksgiving. So Thankmas
Yeah,
live
that's cool.
stream event. And the last time that we did it, we were raising money for World Central Kitchen, and they provide meals during like disasters and stuff like that. Like they were
That's awesome.
out in, I believe they had recently. The last thing that I heard was that they were going out to Gaza to provide food relief out there. So we, if things line up, everyone's kind of in flux in the holidays. Everyone in my band has a full time job, and we're balancing that and relationships.
Yeah.
And our drummer just moved with his girlfriend. So they had all that going on when we were preparing to play an hour-long set at the state fair. So, yeah, everyone gets kind of busy, but if the stars align, then we will possibly, maybe, likely, maybe do a charity live stream this year. I feel like it'd be a lot of fun. There's a couple Christmas covers that we did and an original Christmas song that we did on our EP and Awful Christmas a few years ago. So those are always fun to play. Actually, the original that we wrote on that one is one of mine and my bass player Troy's favorite songs to play. Um, yeah, other than that, next year we're just kind of playing it by ear. We'll take whatever good opportunities present themselves to us and we'll seek out what we can. If we can hit the road, that'd be awesome. Um, yeah, otherwise, we have a ton of uh, demos in various states of doneness that
Gotcha.
that
Most
we
bands do. What are you talking about? Everybody does, don't they?
I mean, if you have a studio, then I mean,
You have a
we
track
have
somewhere,
a
you have
few
guitars on here somewhere, you got drums over here somewhere. Just got to mix it all together.
we've got a few dozen songs or song ideas that we have potentially for the next record, which we're hoping to get started on maybe around summer of next year.
Awesome. So you guys go on an awful mess. What time on Saturday?
That is an amazing question. I think it is somewhere around 7 or 8.
Okay, so you got the later afternoon, early evening. Get that lubed up crowd showing up for you. Should be a little fun. Obviously, you have the new album coming out. Say the name of it again.
Better off without you.
Better off without you. Where can you find that on where?
Everywhere you
I
can
mean, come
find
on, do we have to say
everything
this
linked.
anymore? Like every just stream it somewhere. You know where you get your music, right?
And awfulmess.com. That's going to have links to everything. It's going to have our Spotify, our YouTube, which is it's actually embedded on the home screen on our website, so it shows our latest releases there, as well as our contact email. It has links to all our social media and our Twitch as well, which we like to. Um, we actually have played some live stream shows before on there, and we intend to do a bit more going forward.
Yeah, I remember using Twitch a lot the last couple of years. The last year or so, I have not because of my job. So things kind of change. And then you're going to be pulling double duty, playing with Arsenic Kitchen on Saturday as well. You're running
Yep.
the whole show. So desertgraymusicfestival.com. Doors open at 2, all ages, $15 advance tickets, $20 a day of the show. The Nile Theater at 105 West Main Street in Mesa, Arizona. So if you are in the area, get your damn ticket. It's $15 to see what, 20 something bands?
28 artists. So
28.
yeah, it's what, like 50 something cents, 52, 54 cents per artist?
Yeah, I mean, basically what streaming gets when you have like a million streams, isn't that right? Something like that on Spotify. You get 50
Yeah,
cents
we get
per million
something
streams.
like 30 to 50 bucks a month on streaming.
Oh, dear Lord. But Aaron, man, thank you so much for joining me. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love that tour that you and I were on, not together.
Absolutely.
Well, we were
Tons of fun.
together, but in a
Yeah,
different way. I mean, obviously you played. I just drove and slept and watched and did all that. But man, good
little
luck with the
dream.
festival. Anything else you want to say before we go? Anything else you want to throw out
And
there?
that's all I got, really. If you're in a band and you want to come out to Arizona, hit me up, booking.visions@gmail.com. If you want to check out my music, go to anawfulmess.com or look up An Awful Mess wherever you get your music. If you want to record some stuff, hit me up at studio@sadghost.net and I would be happy to work on your project with you.
This guy has his hand in so many things and it's not going to stop.
I also do
Absolutely
light
love it.
graphic design work.
There you go. So he does it all. He literally does it all. Drums, guitar, singing, bass. Aaron, man, great seeing you. Great talking to
You as
you.
well.
And this is the Better Listen Up with Evan J. Thomas show. Until next time, you know what we say. Rock on.